Thank you so much for having me here in Hong Kong and giving me opportunity to share you about how to build next set of generation agent application on AWS. So let's start with use case. So I have a small two agents literally. I have a cafe manager agent. So let's think like this agent application built on using recent framework like Crew AI. So I'm using Crew AI and I have few tools connected to that agent. Let's say these tools are kind of APIs with open API specification. So my custom base in my cafe going to communicate with my cafe manager agent to, let's say request can I have cappuccino, can I have 2 long blacks, kind of scenario, but you can relate this scenario to any other use case you can think about in the agentic space. So there's another agent I have. This is distributed agent who is going to communicate with another agent, let's say vendor agent, to get some information or make a request, order request for the coffee. But if you see here, my agents are built on let's say first agent is Crew AI, other one let's say AutoGen. So it's 2 different frameworks, and my custom base I have it let's say Auth0 as the identity provider or Okta, and also my tools are not in also Lambda or anything. It's different open API specification. So do we have any solution in AWS which I can port this application into from this prototype level to enterprise grade application in this AWS ecosystem? Yes, we have. If you think about how AWS supporting you in this agentic era, there are a lot of services actually provided by AWS, and today we are going to focus on AgentCore service in AWS. So AgentCore service has 6-7 modules. So these are interdependent, so not dependent actually each other, so you can run it separately. So it's modules in AgentCore. So this one helps you to deploy agent written in any framework or using any models into AWS. Let's see how it works. So we start from runtime, then we move to memory, gateway, identity, and observability. But today's session I'm not going to discuss about code interpreter or browser tools. That also managed service offered by AWS. So this whole concepts and all the things are managed services offered by AWS. Let's start with the AgentCore runtime. AgentCore runtime is serverless offering, hosting offering, where you can use any framework, let's say Crew AI, or AWS offering you Strands as agentic framework, or Microsoft AutoGen, Google Agentic Development Kit. Likewise, any agentic AI framework you can use, and also you can communicate with any models out there. It should not be in the AWS ecosystem, but let's say you want to communicate with open AI models. It's also possible by deploying our application into this framework. And also it supports 2 major protocols. You may heard about MCP, Model Context Protocol, where we actually use it to communicate with our tools and resource. Then it supports A2A protocol. It's a very new protocol going along with MCP, which communicates open up communication between agent to agent. And also when it comes to execution time, we need a real-time execution. So when someone asks a question from user, you need real-time response, as well as sometimes there are long running tasks we need more time. So this AgentCore runtime supports till 8 hours of execution time. And when it comes to payload, it supports until 100 MB of data. So either it's text or blobs or anything. So it supports you till 100 MB at this moment, but I guess it will increase going forward. Let's see how it works. So the main thing when you are developing agentic application is one thing is it's not deterministic flow. So agent or the LLM model going to decide where it goes. And the other thing is how you make sure that your sessions are isolation. So this AgentCore runtime provide that out of the box, how you going to isolate. So you can worry about the business logic, but the core agent core runtime will support for the session isolation. How they are going to do is like they are using a micro VM kernel, and when users start a message or like the prompt with the agent, it creates a session with the micro VM kernel, and it's like through isolation. There's no file system or memory or CPU shared with any other user. Let's say like Jonas, like can I, okay, once your coffee done, call me at this number or text me at this number. But let's say like Jane in another side like ask something like, can you share the phone number? So it should not happen in the agentic application. So all these data and the sessions are isolated from each other. Then this is like stateful service, so it memorize all your states, and it can support up to like 500 active session at the moment. Then this is how it works. So let's say like when you start a session, it's start like keeping initiated with a like unique session ID. You can define like managed service will define session ID for you, and after 5 minutes, like let's say like you have inactive time, so it suspend your CPUs and all those resources, and it helps you to save money. AWS support for that one, like AWS like that custom obsession principles of support here to shut it down your CPU, so it's not going to cost you. So but let's say like you are going forward, so until 15 minutes, after finish minutes it's going to request timeout. Oh, if you are streaming, that means like ChatGPT kind of like streaming coming out, so it supports until 60 minutes. And also let's say you have long running tasks, then it supports up to 8 hours. So that means like your process can run up to 8 hours. So this is how the session isolation and everything works. So next part is when it comes to agent application is the memory, because without memory there's like we cannot give a like better customer experience, because let's say like today every day you have to ask like I want this one, but instead of like let's say like today you go to coffee cafe and you ask for cappuccino and that's your favorite for morning, so next day also like I should able to ask like, hey, can I have the coffee? So agent should know like it's a long back or something. So that memory comes through a module called AgentCore memory. So this AgentCore memory gives us like two types of memory, short-term memory and the long-term memory. So this memory has a built-in encryption, and it flexible with the like namespaces. Namespace is like where you go and store memory record in the store like the or the database. I'll come to that later. And it has a like time to live TTL. So you can decide like how many days you want to keep these memories, and built-in observability will be there with agent memory. Let's go to like short-term memory. So short-term memory we have something called event. So when user asks a question from agent, it's a like event creation. So user asks, agent response back. This is the second event. And likewise, every time there's an event created when you start communicating. Then also you can send event metadata. So metadata is like, for example, let's say like I'm using that agent in Hong Kong. So Hong Kong could be a like event metadata. So every time I come here, the agent get to know like what kind of coffee or what time I go to that cafe. Then also like every interaction from user or different application or like another agent to agent will create a unique actor ID, and this actor ID and the session IDs we are using to store this data properly in the database. So we know like where we store this data for the user, so we can retrieve very quickly. And also this short-term memory store like you have chat messages, and we have something called checkpoint. That means like because if our session go out, we should able to get that session detail at point. So we have a snapshot of like previous chat time to time. All these things are managed by the memory module. So you don't need to do anything in your code unless you have to just define like how your memory is going to trigger, and it manages session state. Then how it goes to the long-term memory. So short-term memory is like session-wise, like simple interaction. Now you want to know like what is this user's pattern, so this data should goes to long-term memory. So this one also like a synchronous process offered by the service itself. So it take this raw interaction and try to create it to a structured format to store in a like vector store. So there are like three ways actually it's store data right now, like out of the box. It's like user preference. It checks your raw interaction and get the user preference or facts and knowledge, and also summarize your data. And also this memory model, like the best part of it, like if you don't define like your own store, it will use like whatever the store you have, or otherwise if you have like different in your own prem or your enterprise, you can define that. Then how you going to store this data? There's something called strategies. You can decide strategies in this module. So there are three literally strategies. One is like built-in strategies. You don't have to do anything. It will automatically do the magic for you. Then build it and customize strategies, which is where you can customize bit, and the other one is very customized strategy. You can decide what goes to and how it goes to long-term memory. And also good part is like it comes in inbuilt semantic search, so it helps you to extract memory data from the system like appropriately for your queries. Okay, after memory, agents are more powerful with the tools, so we need a way to integrate tools to our agents. So for that purpose, AgentCore offer you AgentCore Gateway. So this is like gives you like unified access, and it helps you to integrate your tools. And let's think about like let's say your enterprise, you have like 1, 2, 3 tools, it's okay. But let's say you are going like more than 500,000 tools. How agent like get to know like what is the best tool for the purpose? So for that they have intelligent tool discovery functions inbuilt, so it helps to discover the tools properly. And also that's not all, already built-in integrations are there, like for example if you need like Salesforce, Slack or any Sendex, those kind of thing, it's already there. So 1 or 2 click away, so you can integrate with the AgentCore Gateway module. And yes, it comes in the authentication and authentication part and the security part. This is how the gateway looks like. So you can go to gateway module, and then there are 3 models, like 3 way of you can connect into your targets. One is like Smithy models. So if you have that kind of configuration, you can use Smithy target. Or let's say like it's outside API, but your API is like supporting for Open API schema, so then you can use Open API target for that purpose. And also if you have a Lambda function as a tool, you can use a AWS Lambda target for that purpose. And also this AgentCore gateway act as a MCP server. It's like inbuilt there. So it acts as a like MCP server, and our agent going to be a kind of client who communicate through this gateway. Okay, now we discuss about like the runtime, the memory, then gateway. All these things we need to come up with a kind of identity management service, because we need to secure all the connections. So for that purpose, we have something called AgentCore Identity. So it makes sure like all the process happen through the AgentCore runtime, memory and everything goes through proper identity. So it's very simple. If you see here, so we have inbound authorization or authentication, plus we have outbound authorization and the authentication. It does like very few like simple thing. Let's say like when user connect to agent, it makes sure in the inbound authorization part, it makes sure, oh, this is the correct user, valid user, and it asks, is this user intend to communicate with this agent? So all this verification happens behind the scene through this AgentCore identity module. And also the other side, outbound authorization part, make sure this is the correct agent plus this agent has correct credential or thing like security thing to communicate with the tools behind the scene. So this module truly support that. And other part is, let's say you already have a existing identity provider, like let's say like Microsoft Enterprise there, or Auth0, Okta. So instead of you build all these capabilities, let's say like or migrating those things to Amazon Cognito, you can port this outside your existing identity framework into AgentCore identity. So it's like this whole platform is like open up for whatever existing tools you are using, existing packages you are using. You can literally get it and drop into this service, and it will give you enterprise level capabilities. Okay, now we discussed 4. The last thing what we want in this whole agentic part is observability. Yes, it comes with the observability module also. So we have AgentCore observability, which has like real-time visibility. So in AWS level, when you spin up observability module, it will auto connect to Amazon CloudWatch. So you have a GenAI dashboard there where you can monitor all the logs and the traces, matrices. Oh, otherwise, let's say you have an existing observability dashboard built in your organization, and if it supports this open telemetry standard, you can port that data directly into your existing dashboard. So simply how it works is, runtime by default open up this AWS distribution for open telemetry. Through that, it will automatically push your telemetry data into observability via logs or like traces and metrics. So logs mean like literally what happened, it tell you what happened, and the traces tell you how it happened, and the matrices give you like how many tokens or how many time it taken to process these things. And also it gives you, like if you're using all this module together for your application, there are like service level telemetry data also goes to observability module, and they will consolidate everything and give you like proper information about this service. So let's say with this one, let me show you how it looks like in the portal. So this is the service. It's a Bedrock AgentCore. This is the service we are discussed already about the 5 modules. So it's very easy. Like if you see, like you see agent runtime, built-in tools, which we haven't discussed in this session, but the gateway, memory, and identity. So agent runtime, when you push your code, it will automatically deploy into your runtime, and it will show like this. Like this is the runtime and the sessions, and what are the log and the tracing. Likewise. If you see here, I have like 5 agents deployed already. So none of these are like strands agent. So these are building Crew AI. So likewise, you can use any framework to do this. Then also, like if you go to memory, it will automatically create the memory for you, like long term and the short term memories for you. So you can check like what's there. And then if you go to gateways, you can create any gateway. If you go to gateway, use existing identity providers, okay, integration, let's say. So it offer you all this inbuilt integration, so you don't need to do anything. You can just say like if you have these integrations, if you want this integration, you can directly click and configure. Then identity, as I told you, so that one also possible. Yeah. So you can get inbuilt identity providers like any of these tools. So it supports for that. Then finally observability. If you enable it through the AWS, so it goes to CloudWatch, And if you see CloudWatch, there's a new segment called Gen AI Observability. So you can click this one and you can see like how many agents you are running, the memory logs and everything. And if you want to see like let's say like a trace, you can go here, click, and you can see like how many invokes happen and the trace, like how it worked throughout this agentic execution. So span gives you like how it happened, like what happened, then is there any issue, like because it tells you all the information. So for you to develop this application, literally you need AgentCore start key. That is the easiest way. So with that one, you can just say like in your command prompt, once you start that, install that AgentCore start kit, you can say AgentCore configure and give it a name, and you can define your entry point and push it. So that easy. Let me maybe AgentCore. I just say like help. So this is there. So you can use configure to configure your application. Then you can say launch. It will automatically create a. Let me see. I can show you AgentCore. So yeah. So if you see here, this application is like Crew AI. It's not a strand. So once you define this Bedrock AgentCore runtime and define it as app, you can define like what is the entry point, and you can run your app like this. Once you have done this one, you can run this command literally. And okay, so it's my SRC cafe manager. Okay, let me run a different. So I give it like a different name here. So if you see here, like when I have the starter toolkit, so it asks like, yeah, your requirement file is there. I can say yes. Then it will automatically create the execution role. Then it's going to put this application in a container. And it asks like, what is, do you not need like authorization and those information? And if you are supporting auth, then you can say. Then it asks like headers, and then it create the configuration file for you. Then you can say like yes, whether you need long-term memory or short-term memory. So I can say yes, something like it. Create like this. Then you can go to AgentCore launch. So it should create the whole pipeline, and it will deploy automatically to your AgentCore runtime. From there you can take it and go forward. So this is the AgentCore runtime. So you have full flexibility of how you are going to use AgentCore. It's not bound to your full AWS, but you can bring your existing frameworks and the development part. Then yeah, let's give it some time. So later maybe will come. So the next part is, after this one, if you remember, I had another agent which is going to expose through A2A protocol. So I'll give a like brief introduction. So A2A is like another protocol comes with the like MCP. So it's it's a open standard started by Google, but it's now managed by the Linux, and all the major companies adopted this A2A standard as well. So it's secure by default, and it complements MCP. It's not MCP, but it's going to complement. So literally what it does is, it's like this, because different companies going to make different agents, and we have no clue about these agents or how they are enterprise APIs and those things. So only we need to know is like, is there any agent available for my purpose, then I should able to communicate with that agent to get the information done. So that's where agent to agent protocol comes, is a standard at this moment, and I guess like MCP and A2A protocols will be there for a long time going forward. And what we did is literally this one. So we use AgentCore. I couldn't show the Auth0 configuration, but I saw like how many vendors are there. So we can automatically connect to that one. Then runtime hosts like two application. One is like normal application, other one is a distribution agent with the A2A. We can do that one. Then memory support with the short and long. Then observability you have seen already. Then gateway support me to connect with my all other tools. So this is the reference architecture. If you can see, this is kind of a reference. You all see all the runtime, memory, agent code, the same thing. So if you have any question about this new service and around the agentic application, we can connect through the LinkedIn through this QR code, and I'll give you like 10 seconds, and then I'll share the feedback QR code. Okay, so if you have any feedback, I'd like to hear from you. So thank you so much, and thank you, User Group Hong Kong.